All right, so today we're going to try this again because the video that I wanted to share yesterday of us going to Fredericton, or earlier in this video, went completely pear-shaped. We were supposed to be out for a little hike. We got to CFB Gagetown, showed the kids some vehicles, and then I'm like, you know what? We've been in the vehicle for a couple hours now. Why don't we go to Lindsay Valley, which is the hiking trails they got, go for a little walk. We did that. We went down. We saw a nice little waterfall. And then we got 10 feet down the trail past the waterfall. And we're like, you know what? Let's turn around, go back, get lunch, and then go into town. And we got cut off by 3 black bear cubs and mama bear. We didn't know where she was. So we decided, you know what? Let's just walk the entire loop, which turned out to be 8K, which we were not prepared for. So the rest of this video is just some fixes that I'm doing in the trailer. So let's turn around. So we got our kitchenette here. All right, guys. And the kids keep ripping off the frickin'... Oh, point the camera. Come on. The kids keep ripping off the frickin' tops of these things. So what I decided to do was go out. I bought some wood from the wood store. I think it was Kent here in Woodstock, New Brunswick. And what I've done is I've notched this little bit here. Sorry, still getting used to this new camera. Notched out this little bit here. This little bit over here, and I put some PL Premium on it, and then I'm going to use some screws. Thought process on this is that if it's glued to the wall and glued to the base and screwed in, maybe the kids won't destroy it every chance they get. So I'm going to quickly throw the base on this camera, and then we are going to time lapse and knock this out. Let's get to it. There we go. So we're gonna let this set, and hopefully it works. So on the bottom we got a good seal all the way along, a little bit of glue squeezed out on top, but for the most part I'm happy. I'm gonna come back with a damp paper towel and just get it up, out, whatever. All right, so, as you can see, camera, there we go. It's in, it's good, it's gluing, it's drying, that's all happy. So, just to clarify the type of wood that I'm using, it's called Moak, M-O-A-K. It's a new type of wood that I just invented, because I'm not sure if it's maple, I'm not sure if it's oak. So we're gonna go with Moak, but it's hardwood. And my thought process behind using this was that with it being a solid hardwood, it's going to be harder for the screws to rip out of it when the kids start being annoying and ripping it all out and just being rough. Whereas the particle board, the strong popcorn fart, and it just blows apart. So anyway, that side's in. We're going to do the other side now. So, there we go. I'm going to do this side a little backwards and a little differently because as you can see they use angle brackets. I need to look through the freaking camera when I'm shooting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the board flat. I'm going to sit there. I'm going to mark the screw holes for all of these guys here. I am then going to mount them all, put them all in. And then I'm going to lower the brackets down so that they're the same height as this. Now that I say that out loud, I'm going to measure the height of this guy. Come on! From the bottom here to here, because it needs to squish the cushion a little bit. And then go from there. Because if it's the right height, then I'll just leave it the way it is. and hope that the glue work, or the screws just work on that. So, on with the circus. All right, so change of pace. I didn't like how I was trying to get it to work with it like already 3/4 of an inch off the top, because the way my mind was working was trying to get this edge here to line up with this edge here. It's hard to imagine it unless you like screw something in or clamp it in to the back, and then you project a line up and blah blah blah. And I don't have clamps, I don't have any extra wood to project up a line or steel or anything. So brought it back down to, or I took the screws out as you just seen. I then held the board in place where I wanted, and then I just traced the line. There we go. I just traced the line all the way along the back, and this is the 90-degree section there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this outside, I'm going to put the clamps where I want them, and then I'm going to pre-drill the holes, because my thought is this is hard. If I don't pre-drill the holes, the wood could crack and split, and then I'm no further ahead than I am right now. So we're going to do that. And then when I come in, all I have to do is just drill or put the screws straight into the MDF and then go from there. Now, if this does break again, it's going to be the MDF side that lets go. In which case I got to redo everything. So, out we go. Cushions on, they're PL glued in to the tops. The one over here is glued into the top and the sides. And then I switched up the screws that were holding them in. I'm going to show you the difference in screws that I used. They're a little bit longer, plus the design is different, which gives it more of a mechanical bond. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's chat a little bit about the fasteners that I used. Screws. The ones that they gave me, the ones on the left, that you'll see in a second, are these little guys right here. Okay? They're nothing crazy. They're total, I think, like 1/2 inch long, and 3/8 of that is thread, but it's next to nothing. But I upgraded to these guys. All right? Let's spin this around and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so they're both the same drive. They're both number 8 Robertsons, all right? But as you can see, this guy here, the head it goes up and then is flat, all right? Whereas the one on the left, it's tapered. Now, both of these have their place, all right? But as far as I'm concerned, the shorter one with the tapered head, this guy here that only has 3/8 of an inch of grip, I don't know why the hell they use that, because it's not enough for anything. If you're building a deck, these are great, because then the tapered section actually acts as a force multiplier and pulls everything in. But when you're dealing with thinner woods, or, pardon me, looking at holding things together while the glue dries, all that stuff, this is the one I would suggest, because you see how it's 90 degrees? you're not going to want to add as much load with these, or force, or torque, or whatever you want to call it, because eventually this is just going to shear. But when you're just looking to hold something in place and for it to be rigid and good to go, this is what I would go with. And this is what I ended up doing, because I bumped up to in total, 1/2 inch long thread section. So I'm getting more, the whole length of this threaded section is the same as this whole screw. I really wish this would stop focusing on my face. Anyway, this isn't working. I'm still learning on this camera. Now you guys see the difference in between the two. I hope that helps. All right, folks, so that is it for today's episode. If you liked what you've seen, leave us a comment. We really appreciate it. Lets us know what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong, and what you guys want to see more of. Anyway, other than that, that's it. We'll catch you on the next episode. Cheers.